Okay, picture this. It's exactly 1:40 in the morning. Outside, the city is completely still, just, sleeping peacefully. But inside this dim, super quiet office lobby, we find Noah. He's sitting there all alone in his security guard uniform. His entire world right now is just silent hallways, flickering fluorescent lights, and these long, incredibly lonely hours. And the thing is, most people who actually came across Noah during the day, they just walk right past him. I mean, some were polite, sure, but a lot of folks literally looked right through him, like he was completely invisible. But what absolutely nobody knew about Noah was that he was carrying this massive, secret dream inside himself. While the whole world slept, he was quietly putting together a plan.
Welcome to this explainer. I am so pumped to dive into this with you today. We are going to unpack Noah's incredible story, which honestly is essentially a masterclass in how to take the loneliest, most painful seasons of your life and use them as rocket fuel for massive personal growth. So if you've ever felt stuck, ignored, or kind of like you're falling behind everyone else, Noah's transformation from a night shift security guard to a high-level corporate executive is absolutely going to change the way you look at your own free time. All right, let's jump right in. Section 1. The Trap of Temporary. To really get how wild Noah's transformation is, we have to look at where he started. So Noah grew up in a lot of financial struggle. He'd watch his mom work these exhausting cleaning jobs just to make rent, and eventually the money just wasn't there, so he had to drop out of college early. That pure survival mode pushed him straight into a night security job, and when Noah first zipped up that uniform, he made himself a promise. This is just temporary, just until things get better. But here's the thing. Temporary situations are incredibly dangerous. Why? Because they literally become permanent the exact second you stop believing change is possible. Months slowly just blurred into years. Noah wasn't just sitting at a physical desk anymore. He was getting emotionally trapped in this endless loop, fighting exhaustion and some profound isolation while society was fast asleep.
And that isolation, it hit an absolute breaking point one evening when an old high school friend unexpectedly walked into his building. Now, this friend was wearing the sharp, expensive suit, confidently handling a business call. But when he recognized Noah, sitting there in the guard uniform, Noah saw something just devastating. His friend's expression changed instantly. It wasn't disrespect, it was pity. Oh man, think about how crushing that is. That single look of pity triggered Noah's deepest, darkest fear. The terrifying thought that he wasn't just stuck temporarily, but that he was falling permanently behind in life.
Section 2. The Midnight Realization. Fast forward to this rainy night, right around 3 a.m. Noah's sitting alone, watching the city lights blur through the giant office windows. He was completely running on fumes, but it wasn't just his body. It was this heavy, deep mental exhaustion. He'd essentially hit rock bottom in the self-pity department. But right there, in that moment, a massive perspective shift happens. Think about what most of us do with our lonely or difficult seasons. We try to escape, right? We doom scroll endlessly on our phones, we complain constantly about how unfair it all is, and we just waste hours every single day waiting for the clock to run out. But Noah suddenly realized that while he'd been absolutely dreading these night shifts, he was actually sitting on a gold mine. A hidden asset that everyone claims they never have enough of: time. He had hours of uninterrupted, quiet time every single night.
This was the exact turning point. Noah pulled out his phone, but instead of opening up social media to numb his brain, he typed a very specific question into the search bar: how to rebuild your life through self-education. That one single search marked the exact moment Noah decided he was done letting his lonely shifts destroy him. He was going to use them to build his future. He stopped seeing his environment as a prison and actually started treating it like a classroom.
Section 3. The Lonely Phase.
Now, having a massive realization is great, but the actual execution, That's where the real magic is. Noah's transformation didn't kick off with fireworks. It started in total silence. He just began bringing books to work. While those hallways were dead quiet, he was diving headfirst into psychology, business, communications, and leadership. And yeah, I know, reading corporate operations manuals at 3 a.m. sounds like the world's best sleep aid. But this wasn't about trying to cram 10 books a week. It was about building a sustainable system. Step 1, read 1 page at a time. Step 2, learn while others sleep. Step 3, grow internal discipline. Was it draining at first? Absolutely. Some nights he could barely keep his eyes open. But the huge takeaway here is that small, daily growth eventually snowballs into massive transformation. Noah just stayed consistent. 1 page, 1 lesson, 1 lonely night at a time.
But we've got to talk about the hard truth when it comes to personal growth. It often gets really lonely. As Noah started changing, his relationship shifted too. Friends actually started mocking his new routine. They'd say things like, "You study after working all night? That sounds miserable." They were literally laughing at his ambition. But Noah, he just stopped trying to explain himself. And the brutal reality is this: most people desperately want different results in their lives, but they absolutely refuse to become a different person to actually get them. Noah was finally willing to be different. And that internal shift, it seriously started showing up on the outside. One night, while pacing those same empty hallways, Noah catches his reflection in the office glass. Only this time, he didn't see the tired, defeated guard from a year ago. He realized his posture had totally changed. He was standing taller. His eyes looked sharp, completely focused. For the first time in years, his self-respect was 100% restored. He knew right then that his internal growth mattered infinitely more than the temporary comfort of just clocking out and taking a nap.
Section 4, the ultimate test.
Now, we all know life has a really funny way of testing you right when you start making real progress, right? Just as Noah's mindset was hitting its stride, life threw these massive hurdles at him. Month 1, his mom becomes seriously ill. By month 2, the medical bills are just exploding, putting insane financial pressure on his family. By month 3, Noah literally has no choice but to start working constant double shifts. Sleep basically gone. The mental and physical exhaustion was just consuming him. One night, after a brutal double shift, he sat in that lobby and he genuinely, truly wanted to quit. He wanted to drop the books and just give up entirely. But right at the absolute edge of quitting, he anchored himself to this one powerful idea. People discover their real strength during painful seasons. Let's be real, it's super easy to be disciplined when life is going perfectly. But Noah understood that discipline matters the absolute most exactly when life feels the most impossible. So instead of surrendering to the exhaustion, he just gripped those books a little tighter. And that sheer refusal to quit led him into 2 solid years of relentless focus. During those crazy night shifts, he systematically stacked up some serious skills. He knocked out online certifications, he vastly improved how he communicated, he did deep dives into management and business operations. He wasn't just casually reading, he was actively building a high-level corporate toolkit in the dead of night, preparing for an opportunity he couldn't even see yet. And then, the opportunity finally showed up. A late-working executive in that very building had actually been quietly watching Noah. He'd noticed the security guard just silently studying during his breaks, night after night. And that curiosity turned into profound respect. So, when a junior operations role opened up inside the company, this executive bypassed all the candidates with the fancy traditional degrees and offered the job straight to Noah. Why? Because he recognized something incredibly rare: unshakable discipline, consistency, and a work ethic that was literally forged in the dark.
Section 5, invisible work, visible results.
So, Noah took the job. Was he terrified? Oh, for sure.
but he trusted the foundation he'd built. He attacked his new role relentlessly, learning lightning fast and improving every single day. And slowly, his entire life completely transformed. He secured a much better income, massive confidence, and this incredible sense of peace. It really all boils down to this concept of invisible work, the effort you build silently, while nobody is clapping for you, that eventually creates profound, visible success. Real transformation never begins on a bright stage, guys. It always starts privately, in the dark, way before the world ever sees it. Noah's success wasn't some lucky overnight accident. It was the payoff of thousands of hours of invisible work.
Sometime later, Noah actually walked back into that exact same office lobby, this time after a super successful day at his corporate job. He stood right there where his old guard desk used to be. The building, it looked exactly identical. The same dim lights, the same glass, the same quiet hum, but the man, he had changed completely. He realized that those lonely nights he used to absolutely hate had actually been the exact forge he needed to build the absolute strongest version of himself.
Fast forward a few years, and a nervous, brand new security guard actually asked Noah how he managed to escape the night shift life. And Noah gave him this incredibly high-impact piece of advice. He said, "I stopped using lonely nights to complain and started using them to grow." Wow. Just think about how powerful that is. The environment didn't change for him. The hours didn't magically get better. Literally, the only thing that changed was what Noah decided to do with the time he was handed.
So, as we wrap up this explainer today, I really want to leave you with a direct challenge. Take a look at your own life. Are you using your lonely seasons to complain, or are you using them to actively build your future? Look, we all hit those moments where we feel stuck, totally ignored, or just completely burnt out. But please, never forget Noah's lesson. Invisible work always creates visible results eventually. The process might feel incredibly slow, but consistent growth changes absolutely everything. So the question is, what are you going to build tonight while the rest of the world sleeps?